Praise the Lord. Hey, does that bring back memories, brothers and sisters of Iraq? Well, I wonder. Tonight we got a special news and views program talking about withdrawing the combat troops of the United States of America from Iraq. Barack Hussein Obama made a speech last night about the subject. And our question tonight is Iraq better off now, or were we better off under Saddam Hussein? Thus, the authentic outfit from the Iraqi army of the past. And as you saw, the national anthem from Iraqi TV before Saddam Hussein was evicted in 2003. Tonight, we're not going to be talking about whether or not the war was right. We're going to be talking about simply this question. All of you Chaldeans, Assyrians, all of you Iraqi Muslims, I want you to call tonight, 248-416-1300. We're going to have a poll. Was Iraq better, were Iraqis better off before Saddam was evicted, when under Saddam's time, or better off now that America has been there so many years that the control of the country has been given to Islamic clerics, namely Shia Islamic clerics, and particularly that Islam is now guiding the laws of the nation and the actions of the people much more strictly and closely than it was under Saddam Hussein. Very interesting. We're going to be talking about that. And the big question is, since under the time of Saddam you had a secular, socialist, pan-Arab nationalist leader, Saddam Hussein, and assuming, as I'm going to present to in a moment, some statistics that most Iraqis themselves feel that they were better off under Saddam than now, what does that say about Islam? The country under Saddam was not that Islamic. I was in Iraq 9 or 10 times under Saddam Hussein. As a Christian, I had no problem whatsoever. And the Christians that I met there had no problem or complaints with the government. However, today, we find that Christians are being killed, murdered, extorted, kidnapped, expelled. Why? The nation has become much more Islamic. Shouldn't that promote a more peace, if Islam is peace? Shouldn't it promote more security, if Islam is that which gives us peace and security and tolerance and love? That's the question we're asking tonight. And we're going to take a look at some of the modern history of Iraq. Let's start with Abdul Karim Qasim. Abdul Karim Qasim was the leader, the first leader of Iraq after the British puppet monarchy, King Faisal I and King Faisal II. And, you know, we had a sort of communist socialist type government that was succeeded by the Ba'ath Party, the socialists, right up to Saddam. And we're going to take a look in a moment at the progression of the nation of Iraq, politically, socially, and religiously, from that time until today. Let's take a look, by the way, at the first flag. Now, Iraq has had 5 flags. I wonder how many nations change their flags so often. 5 different flags. Now, there's the first flag. That flag was under the time of Abdul Karim Qasim. That was the flag of Iraq. And let's leave that flag up for a moment because I want to describe it. So please leave it on the screen. It says that this flag consisted of black, white, and green tricolor. In the middle was a white band and a red 8-pointed star with a yellow circle at its center. The black and green represented pan-Arabism. The yellow sun represented the Kurdish minority, while the red star of Ishtar represented the Assyrian minority. So there you have the pan-Arab, green and black. You have the yellow manifesting, showing the Kurdish minority, and the red sun showing the Assyrian minority. Here is a flag by a government that was communist-leaning socialist that wanted to include the Kurds as well as the Christians, the Assyrians, along with the Arabs of Iraq. There was no need to persecute the Christians. After all, the government was not that Islamic. That continued right up to the time of Saddam Hussein. Let's take a look now at the second flag of Iraq in the 20th century after Qasim, which came in 1963 after Qasim was deposed. Let's take a look at that second flag. Now, that's the flag that many of us remember in Iraq. That was from 1963 until 1991. Let's leave it up a while I explain the meaning of the Iraqi flag there. After the Qasim government was overthrown, a new flag was adopted July 31st, 1963. The new flag had 3 stripes, red, white, black, with 3 green stars in the white stripe. The green stars were originally placed there for the proposed but never consummated union of Iraq, Egypt, and Syria to make the United Arab Republic, but that never came to pass. And so we see that that flag later, the 3 stars, the meaning of the 3 stars were changed to mean Wahda, Hurriya, or Ishtaraqiyya. That is to say, the Ba'ath Party motto, unity, freedom, and socialism. Now, that is what the Christians, and primarily, and I think the Kurds, but some would say no, of course the Kurds were, they were oppressed under Saddam, but the Christians in particular felt that unity, that freedom that they received under Saddam. Saddam's government did not persecute Christians as a rule. You find that Christians had roles in government, even in high levels of government, Tariq Aziz being a Christian, at least by birth, being the foreign minister of Iraq. And so we saw that that flag, once again, included these ideas of unity. Let's look at it one more time. Unity, freedom, socialism. Doesn't say anything here about Islam. Nothing about Islam in the flag of Qasim. Nothing in the flag of Iraq from 1963 to 1991. Now let's take a look at the next flag in 1991, the next and the third flag of Iraq. Let's take a look at that right now. Aha! Let's take a look at the change. What is the change? Notice in between the stars there has been interposed the takbir, Allahu Akbar, God is greater. Now why all of a sudden does the Iraqi flag get Islamic? It gets Islamic in 1991. Can anyone think why that might be the case? Well, in 1991, the secular Saddam wanted to garner support of Muslims in the war that George Bush and Sr. and America was fighting along with a coalition of other nations against Iraq to expel Iraq and Saddam from Kuwait. So all of a sudden, Saddam begins to get religion. And you'll find that you even began to see some videos. Saddam Hussein and Iraqi TV under Saddam was always putting forth these videos, songs, hymns about Saddam. And from before 1991, you didn't see much emphasis on the side of Islam. It wasn't that big of a deal. You saw more of an emphasis on fighting wars, on guns, on the military, and that type thing. But after 1991, the Iraqi films, the propaganda films, if you will, became more and more Islamic. Now, Saddam himself didn't become that much more Islamic. I don't believe that. The government didn't really become that much more Islamic. But nevertheless, the flag changed so that in hopes, and it's believed in hopes that Muslims throughout the world would support Iraq against the coalition forces. As a matter of fact, let's take a quick look at some of a video that was in on Iraqi TV. Now, this was closer to 2003, before the second invasion of Iraq by the United States of America. A video that portrays Saddam, first and foremost, as a good Muslim. This was a message that was very important to try to win support of an increasingly Islamicized Arab world and Muslim world. Let's take a look at some of that video of Saddam Hussein that was on Iraqi TV closer to the Second War to see how Islam was beginning to be pushed more and more as the rallying cry of the Iraqis. Let's take a look at that video of Saddam right now.
وأنت دوما مدى التاريخ منتصر. مذ كنت أنت على الأيام مدخر، وقد تسامت بك الأصداء والصور. في كل قلب عراقي تلوح رؤى، على الحياة بها التاريخ يزدهر. قوة للعلا الأخاذ باركها الله، والمجد والإيمان والقدر. يا سيدي، ألف جرح ظل مندلقا بنوره، وهو جرح نازف نغر. يظل باللوعة الخضراء منطلقا، وبالحنين الذي في القلب يستعر. فقد تراءيت حبا في جوانحنا، وقد تألق شوقا حوله القمر. فأنت رمز أثير خالد أبدا، يفيض منه الهدى والخير والظفر. إن تشرق الشمس تيها في ضمائرنا، وقد تدفق منها الخير ينهمر. ويسهر الورد في أرجائنا عبقا، وفيه للحب زهو غامر نظر. وإن تألق تحت الشمس بيرقنا، وقد تجلت بما يوحي به الصور. وإن مضى الجدول الرقراق مندلقا، إلى البساتين يزهو حيث ينغمر. وقد تهادت نسيمات على عجل، تهزنا مثل عشب هزه المطر. فإننا بعض ما أبدعت من قيم، ومن معان بها الأيام تفتخر. وإننا جندك الأفذاذ ألوية على الزمان، ومجد خالد عطر. يا سيدي، أنت عنوان لأمة